Welcome back to 7 Deadly Sins That Kill Membership Plans. Today we're going to be talking about sin number 5, which is improper accounting. We see this most often on Facebook forums for office managers, those that are running your plan. What the blank should I do with membership payments? They're not sure where to put it on the ledger, what to do with adjustments, things like that, and it can be a real pain in the butt when you're running your plan. So let's look at a couple of methods. The first is what we call our standard reconciliation. Most people that are running their own plans are doing some sort of a variation of this. Basically, when a patient is making their payment, that revenue hits your bank account, you've got to put that payment somewhere. So if you put that on the patient ledger, there's going to be a credit balance on the patient ledger. Now, you don't want to leave credit balances. That's a big no-no. They can't use it for fillings, crowns, root canals, and so forth. And so you don't want to just leave this credit balance building up there. Sometimes it can get applied wrong, or you might trigger a refund or something like that. So then you've got to create a fake 999 procedure code called membership plan or something similar. You've got to apply that payment to the collections to bring the patient balance back down to zero. Then when a patient comes in, they're going to get their exam, cleaning, x-rays. Those are included or free with their membership plan. There's going to be a balance because there's real production created. The challenge is you're not going to get paid over here from the patient. And so you've got to create an adjustment code called included membership services. And you've got to adjust those services off to zero to bring the patient portion back down to zero there, so they're not paying for anything. Now, there's some pros and cons to this method. The pro is it's easy to set up. It's simple to administer, and you get all your money right away. So, I mean, you can see there it's not super hard. The problem is in the cons is your production doesn't match collection, which is a big issue because you don't really know. Your KPIs are inaccurate. You can't compare other metrics. Your collections should match your production in your practice management software. When it doesn't, there's a potential for fraud and patients receiving free services. Sometimes there's fraud, sometimes there's mistakes, and patients are kind of getting all these free things because you're just writing everything off. There's no real catch or balance. Provider compensation is a lot of times not accurate either because they're getting zeros recorded on the collection side. So when you're running your provider pay, your hygienist being paid on collection production, your associate doctor, they're not going to be real excited if they're not getting any credit for those. And then your practice valuation can be affected as well. When somebody comes in and looks at your practice from a practice valuation standpoint, it looks like you have a major collection problem, even though you don't, because you're writing off all those exam, cleaning, x-rays. So another way to do it is what we call our advanced reconciliation. This is what we do with most of the practices we work with, is we set up a membership account for that practice. As those payments are going into the membership account, those aren't released to the operating bank account yet because you haven't done any services. So there is no credit on the patient ledger with fake production. The unearned revenue is just sitting in a separate account. The practice owns that account, but we just keep it separate because you haven't really done anything yet for services. Then when you provide services, you do an exam, cleaning, x-rays, you walk the patient out of the practice management software, there's going to be a balance or a claim created. That's the same, how it would work with traditional insurance. Patient portion is zero. They don't owe anything for those services, but somebody's got to pay for these services. Now, what we do is we've got integrations with the practice management softwares. We'll record all that information, and then there's just a simple button in our software where when you want to be paid for these services, you basically push that button, and what it'll do is it pings this account, and it automatically transfers money from the membership account to the operating bank account. So you'll have an EFT deposit from your membership account to your operating bank account. There'll be an exclamation of payment that's generated that shows you here's how much was deposited, here's the patient, here's the service, here's the provider, and here's exactly how you need to break up that deposit. So that allows you to match collections. You're going to enter collections to offset production. That's also going to match your bank statement deposits. So your daily production matches daily collections, matches your daily bank statements, and there is no adjustments going on. So when you run your provider pay, you run your KPIs, you run all your numbers, everything's going to match. So when you're running it this way, like we were saying, everything matches, it eliminates frauds, all your numbers are accurate. Patients can't receive services because there's going to be outstanding claim. There's got to be money that matches it up. There's no weird workarounds in your practice management software because we're setting it up as an insurance plan and running it accordingly. There's a really strong standard operating procedure for the team and what they need to do. You have accurate numbers for practice valuation. The cons of it, it's difficult to administer without the help of additional software. And again, that's something that we do. And then your membership payments, the cash is not immediately available. So if you're a scratch start and you need money right away, maybe this method isn't for you. So really, to solve the improper accounting, what you want to do is make sure you set it up properly in your practice management software. We can help you do that if you're wondering how to do that. And then make sure, if you can, you want to match collections with production, because that's going to give you all the accurate numbers and eliminate all those cons if you're just writing everything off. And then use software to facilitate. Again, we can help you with our software to facilitate it. It's pretty hard to do that other method if you don't have some sort of software running it for you. So if you can really run it the right way, you're going to be able to get a lot of patience on it. Your team's going to be behind it, and you're not going to have a bunch of issues with inaccurate accounting, which is going to cause all sorts of problems for you.